Good morning, EFBC. Isn't it cool? You get to see everything from my perspective right now. So you can tell that if you sleep, I can pretty much see who you are. But I do want to remind you of our church's mission and vision. Now, the vision statement of our church simply states that we are a family of faith passionately connecting to Christ, His Word, His church, His mission for His glory. And so our church exists to multiply. We want to see multiple disciples made, and we want to see multiple people come to the Lord. And our primary strategy for accomplishing multiplication, our primary strategy for accomplishing our vision are our connection groups. So from a broad perspective, we talk about multiplication, then we talk about vision, and now we've made our way to talk about connection groups. So I want to talk about your connection group specifically. I know that all around the church you've been seeing the 351 bulletin boards sitting in a corner or hanging up. So let me remind you what 351 stands for. The 3 is about praying for 3 of your unchurched friends. 5, inviting at least 5 unchurched people to your connection group. And 1, sharing the gospel with at least 1 person. We want every connection group member doing 351 every month. Our goal is to have everyone praying for 3 lost neighbors, 5 unchurched people, to invite them to church and to share the gospel with at least 1 person every month. If we are going to accomplish connecting people to Christ, His Word, His church, His mission for His glory, if we are going to multiply, then we have to be a family of faith passionately seeking after these things. It's going to take everyone being faithful to 351. After all, God has given us all the ministry of reconciliation. God's given you a minister or giving you a ministry. That makes you a minister. So we all have a responsibility to do these 3 things. Every person who has been saved by the gospel and sealed by the Spirit has a responsibility to pray for the lost, invite people to church, and to share the gospel. Just think of what would happen in our church if every connection group and every member of every connection group would be faithful to implement the 351 challenge. And we don't want this just to be a program that begins and ends. We want 351 to actually become the DNA of our church. We want this to be the way you live out your life, constantly praying, constantly inviting, constantly sharing. Now, in order for this to be successful, there needs to be some soft accountability. You say, wait a minute, I'm a volunteer. No, we don't have volunteers at this church. You know why? Because you have a ministry. That makes you a minister. Every Christian is a minister of the gospel. And so with that comes accountability. We're going to be having some of our staff members come around to your connection groups in the weeks to come to answer any questions that you may have. But here's the deal. We're going to be setting up a new method of recording our 351 numbers. It's important for us to record these numbers so we will be able to know if we're being effective in implementing our strategy. So I pray that everyone will be a team player. Again, it's going to take all of us working together. Do you believe in your church? Do you believe in the mission and the vision of our church? Do you believe that God has called us to pray, to invite, and to reach people with the gospel? I know that you believe that. So let's all come together, let's all serve, let's all labor in love, let's all commit to the 351 challenge until it becomes a part of our DNA and the way that we live our life. So again, if you have questions, we want to answer those questions, but be prepared. In the days to come, we're going to be recording those numbers differently in order to help our church succeed in reaching people with the gospel.